Welcome to Omnna training. This training video will demonstrate how to create a special buy purchase order in Omnna. There are two ways to get to the Create Purchase Order interface within Omnna. The first option is from the Purchase Order Listing page and by clicking on the familiar green plus button. Click on the plus button and you will see a blank purchase order open. The second option is to click on the Product Management tab, hover over Purchase Orders and click on Create Purchase Order. The first thing you will need to do when creating a purchase order is to identify the vendor or supplier from whom you're buying. You can do that one of two ways. The first way is to click on the green magnifying glass. That will populate a window that displays a list of all vendor records. Search and filter functionality will allow you to isolate the vendor you are looking for. That being said, it is not necessary to use the green magnifying glass. Simply entering a vendor name in the vendor name field will populate a vendor. Let's use vendor Merino Manufacturing for this example. I can enter MA, and all the vendors that begin with MA will populate in the drop-down. Select the vendor Merino Manufacturing. Now we are ready to select our PO type. In this case, we are going to choose Special Buy. A special buy is simply a PO that you are going to manually enter products or import products, but has nothing to do with forecasting or order points. You'll notice that after we selected Special Buy, the default transaction code populates automatically. Now, I need to choose the person that is creating the PO. In this case I will choose Dale. It is not necessary to select any other options in the top section when creating a special buy purchase order. In order to add parts to the purchase order, the first thing you do is go to the product number field and enter a product number. If there is more than one product that matches the number you enter, you will see a drop-down of all the matching numbers. In this case, I'm looking for Wix 51515. Once the product is selected, additional information populates. You will see the department field populates. Also, see that the product description populates. In this case we have selected an oil filter. To add another product I simply press the tab button and enter my next product. We now have two products on the purchase order. Let's talk about the information that's available once you have entered a product. The transaction type for this purchase order populates in the transaction column. As you see, this is a normal purchase. Again, this field is automatically populated based on the type of purchase order. You can see that the quantity on hand and the total available display once the product is entered. In addition, if we want to see more information on any product we enter, such as sales history, we can click the sales history icon. The other line item icons also gives us some extra options such as changing the reorder status. You can change the reorder status by simply clicking on the check or X icon. Note, the last item that had the sales history viewed will always display as gray. We also have options to view a product image, product record, buyer's guide, and export sales history. Under the product number column you will see that we can add part notes. We can save this to the product record, save to the PO only, and our last option is to clear the note. Saving the part note to the PO will create a note that will display right under the product line on the purchase order. Underneath the quantity on hand field you will see we have some sales history. We have month-to-date sales, year-to-date sales, last year sales, last 12-month sales, year-to-date returns, and last year's returns. Under the order quantity column, you will see information like quantity on order, vendor order increment, purchase increment, and minimum order quantity. You'll also see both cost and cost extended, and core cost and core cost extended. Now that we've added our parts, we are ready to submit this PO to our supplier. Let's move to the bottom of the purchase order module. You'll see that freight PPD or The prepaid delivery amount is available to us on this screen. With normal buy, it may not be uncommon to order the parts despite the fact that you're not at the vendor's prepaid delivery amount. With order-to-order point and forecasting type POs, PPD is a more relevant field. So, in this example we are ordering a total of 2 parts. You can see shipping and handling charges, and, if there is a surcharge, or small order charge coming from the vendor record. You can see that information, as well as freight and duty charges. If you're aware of a discount you can get on this purchase order, you can go ahead and select the discount button and you can type in a percentage. Let's do a 2% discount. You see that the price updates and has reduced by 2%. Alternatively, you can enter a dollar amount and apply it to the purchase order. Payment methods: cash, check, credit card, and charge are the payment options you have with Omnna to pay your vendor or supplier. Right here is the PO comments field, in which you can enter a comment for your vendor or supplier, such as, "Please confirm the delivery." If you enter a PO comment, you can choose to have that comment display right at the top of the purchase order, or just save to the PO record. If you want to print a hard copy, you can click on the PO worksheet button. This will populate a printable document that has all of the same information we have added to the PO. If we want to change the sorting of the products, we can do so by clicking the sort button. If I wanted to save this PO in approved status, I can select Save As Is. That will bring us to the PO listing page. As you see here, the purchase order just created is in approved status. As a reminder, approved type POs have not affected your quantity on order. If we want to go back into the purchase order, I can click right on the PO number, or on the edit button. You'll see we are right back to the same view as before. If we wanted to finalize this purchase order, we can select Finalize PO. This will bring us to non-editable view of the purchase order. Now, because we have finalized, we have increased our quantity on order for the products on this PO. At this point, the user needs to decide how to submit this purchase order to their vendor or supplier. Some users have EDI connections, in which the user will be able to automatically send this PO via EDI once finalized. If you do not have an EDI connection, you can fax with Omnna's Interfax service. Or, you can email the purchase order directly with the email PO option. In this training video, we have looked at a special buy type purchase orders. In future videos we will look at forecasting, order-to-order point and return type purchase orders. Omnna. Now you know.